here's the deal. I'm a little bit concerned on the quiz. First off, is everybody good now on 1A, B, and C?
Yeah, it's easy.
I actually thought, when I made up this quiz, this is how sometimes your teachers just don't understand you as well as the teachers think they understand you. I truly believe that 1A, B, and C would be difficult and the graph would be easy. And a lot of people showed that they were both pretty easy. And a number of people also showed that the graph wasn't quite as easy for them as I had hoped that it would be. So, as I go through this now, you guys covered 1A, B, and C already, so tomorrow obviously you're gonna have questions like that again. But there's also this question, and I know that a lot of you double distributed, put it into the graphing calculator, and then, based on what the graphing calculator told you, plotted the points. Now, ordinarily, that would be an outstanding way to do this question. But I have some concerns. And my concerns all come back to a 2-point question on the Regents, the very first Regents, where they said, or the second Regents, I forget which one, graph using zeros. Okay? Now, if the factors are x minus 4 and x minus 2, what are the zeros? Everybody.
Positive 4 and
Positive 4 and positive 2. So what I'm really looking for you to be able to do here, what I'm trying to evaluate, is can you know first to go to 4 and 2? Then, by the symmetry property that parabolas have, the axis of symmetry has to run right up the middle. So then I'm looking, you don't have to draw the axis of symmetry. I'm doing that for teaching purposes. I'm looking to see that you know that. Then I'm looking for you to see that, in this case, the axis of symmetry is x equals 3. So whatever the vertex is going to be on the line x equals 3. So you just substitute a 3 into, if I want to get y, I just plug a 3 and a 3. What's 3 minus 4? Negative 1. And what's 3 minus 2? Positive 1. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. And here's my graph. That's it.
That explains why everybody was turning in their papers before I was.
There you go. All right. So what I'm trying to emphasize to you is that you understand not only how to graph it by punching it into the calculator. That's obviously very simple. But I want you to be able to recognize the zeros. The axis of symmetry splits them equally. And then take whatever the x value for the axis of symmetry is. In this case, 3. Plug it in here. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. 3 minus 2 is positive 1. Multiply them, and that means for the axis of symmetry, I'm at 3 negative, oh, pardon me. On the axis of symmetry, I'm at the point 3 negative 1 as a vertex. Why?
I don't get why it didn't work when I put it in the calculator.
You must have put something in wrong.
I put it.
You should have put in y equals x squared minus 6x plus 8.
Y equals x squared minus 6x plus 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that came up weird.
Be careful about scale. Okay. All right, so we have all of this stuff done. Hopefully those who did not get 100 on today's quiz will get 100 on tomorrow's quiz, and you see from your mistakes. You know, particularly with honors kids tend to be a little bit hard on themselves. And they tend to think a little bit of the old Chicken Little, the sky is falling when they don't get a high grade on something or when they don't get 100 right away. The whole purpose of the giving series of 3 quizzes in a row is so that the first one will reveal to you where you have a misunderstanding. And that from that moment forward, you will work to correct that misunderstanding. That's it. There is no more or no less to this. You will also notice as we progress more and more and more that I am going to start putting more and more and more old Common Core Regents questions on here so that you become very accustomed to how they ask things. Yes?
Tomorrow are you going to say, like, solve, like, with 0, or are you going to do this? Or are you going to do that?
Oh, it's going to be identical with numbers changed. Okay? So tomorrow maybe it'll say x minus 6x minus 2. I don't know, whatever it is. Okay? Yes?
Are you going to be here tomorrow?
Yeah, why would I not be here?
Because in extra help you said you wanted to be here.
Oh, just for extra help purposes. Yeah, just that extra help. Tomorrow I have a meeting in the morning, but I will definitely be in class. So I don't, I've woken up the last 3 mornings and said to myself, man, I'd love to take a sick day. I just like to stay home. But I missed 13 days for my knees, and then even before that, I missed another 3 days for doctor's appointments that led up to the surgery. So there is no way on God's green earth I'm gonna miss a day. I'll tell you, the only 2 days I am considering missing for the rest of the year, I already know the dates. I will have to be dying to not come to school on any day other than these. Your trip is the 14th and 15th? Okay. It's possible that I'll be out on the 15th. It doesn't make a difference to me. Who's gonna be in school? Right. So, if I'm ever gonna take a day to clear my head, that would be a day to clear my head. What I like to do on days like that is schedule doctor's appointments early in the morning. So any doctor appointment I have, I make it early in the morning, I get it done, and I get the day to myself. And there's another day during the year where everybody, all of my classes have tests that day. So I have, sometimes I have to see knee doctors, sometimes I have to see different doctors for different things. And what I try to do is plan far enough ahead that I could set those appointments on days where if I miss school on that particular day, it does not affect the number of days I spend teaching. The problem is, if we miss a day of teaching, that's one less day of Regents review at the end of the year. If I miss 2 days, unless there's a test that day, then there's 2 less days of teaching review. Now, ordinarily, like if I hadn't missed those 16 days between the 13 that I was in the hospital and the other 3 for doctor's appointments, I would have taken a day off one day this week. I would have said, you know what, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm just gonna take a day, I'm gonna clear my head. But I will not do that now. No chance in the universe. Your shoelace is very untied. Yes, it's like really long. Okay, so now let's get going on today's lesson. A little more understanding of parabolas, and then this whole stuff, this is very important. Do you see the topic here today? Graphing quadratics, vertex form 1. Whenever there's like form 1, form 2, and I think in this case it might even be forms 3 and 4, that means that it's a very important topic that's going to take some time to understand. I have no idea where they come up with these names from. Petite, or whatever, and Rui each threw a baseball in the air. Now, since this is R of T, I assume it's Rui, and this is, no, they're both R of T. Oh, man.
Ryu and Pettit.
All right, so Pettit is this guy, and Rui or whatever is this guy, whatever. What are we getting at here? I need both of these on the board. Can someone read what question A says?
Whose baseball reached the highest?
All right, who got to the highest? Oh, Lord. Yeah, it's very difficult, but I can figure it out because,
It's close to 100.
no, this is 8, that's 16, 24, 32, 40, 48,
What?
56.
H.
Listen, I can read that for you. Hold on. This is 80, 88,
Looks like an H.
96. So this guy throws 96 feet high. This guy gets to a height of 102. So Rui throws to a higher height. Next up.
Whose ball reached the ground fastest?
Okay. The ball reaches the ground here. This is 0.51, 1.52, 2.53. Just before 3.5 seconds. This guy is just after 3.5 seconds. Do you see that? So therefore, whoever's the top graph goes there first. I think that's Pettit. Okay, what's the next one?
Pettit claims that his ball reaches maximum faster than Raul's.
Okay. The maximum here occurs at time 1 second. This one here occurs at time 1 second. So to me, they look equal. Okay, next up.
Quality.
What was that?
What? Find POR zero values and explain what it means in the problem. What conclusion can you make based on these values?
Does it say P of 0?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it says P parentheses 0?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. P of 0 is right here, which is 80, and it means that he threw it from a height of 80 feet. Okay? Next up.
What conclusion can you make based on? Did they throw the ball from the same place?
No, this one threw from 86. Okay? So they did not throw from the same place. And is there any other questions?
Yeah.
Ryu claims that he can throw the ball higher than Pettit. Is his incorrect or incorrect?
Well, let's see. This is going from 80 to 90, 96. So he threw it 16 feet high. This guy went from 86 to 102, he also threw it 16 feet high.
So he's correct.
So both of them threw the same height, 16 feet high. Okay, make sense?
Incorrect, because,
Yeah. Any other questions?
no.
No? Okay, so let's go to the next side of this. All right, so for this lesson today, we absolutely need the graphing calculator. Oh, what is that? I didn't even hit that one. What is a star? iMovie? My wife loved iMovie, and now you can't get it anymore.
Or some type of, or not.
They don't, it just doesn't come. You have to buy a separate program with it, and it's more money and all that other stuff. So, my wife is really, really, really good at making these things up. Come on, the wheel of death.
And then people can try to get the and the box too. And the font that goes with it.
Okay. As you can tell, I have never used iMovie.
Didn't we use it last year?
Yeah, I think
I thought that was.
Yeah, we made it last, we used it last.
Oh, no, it wasn't. I got 100. Turn around, I'm not looking
I
at
got
it.
a 90.
I got 100.
Come on!
Well, look what you did. Mine was on the.
These laptops are old.
You ruined
I did digest.
What's the one you
Oh, you know what? I'll go to Plan B. Plan B.
Start with C.
So one thing's not ruined, and the
Okay.
next one.
Just brought yours to
Just
I did that.
Okay, so,
I did that.
clear.
Clear. That's clear again.
Oh, I gotta go into y equals mode. Clear. All right, so, the first thing I wanna do is graph y equals x squared. So just go x, and then squared. Okay, now, do you notice how on the directions here, it says opening exercises, it says graph these, y equals x squared, and then it says y equals, in parentheses, x minus 2 squared?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go to y2.
Down.
All right, enter. There we go. Now I'm gonna hit, in parentheses, x minus 2. Parentheses. Square. And let's just do those two for now. Let's not do the third one yet. Hit graph. If you are not getting a nice view on your graph, you could hit zoom 6. Zoom 6 always puts it back to the home screen, if you will, the 10 in each direction. What do you notice when you graph y equals x squared and y equals parentheses x minus 2 squared? Lily?
The graphs are overlapping.
They are overlapping. Does anybody else notice anything else? In this case, I'm particularly concerned about the vertex. Andre?
They only have one vertex and it says 0 plan. But
No,
it's
it's
just,
not.
never mind.
No, I think he's trying to figure out, and he has a little bit of an idea here. All right, so look, this vertex here of the original parabola, this is y equals x squared. This vertex is 0, 0. Everybody agree?
See,
All right, what about the vertex here for the other one, which is y equals x minus 2 squared? That vertex is 2 comma 0. Now, what do you think I'm looking for you to notice here? Yeah, I'm looking a little deeper than that. Molly?
That like they're both 0 at the Y.
Okay, they are both 0 at the y. That is one thing definitely worth observing. Go ahead.
They overlap like right in the middle of the two.
Okay, that's a good observation too, but I'm focusing on the vertex here, guys. I want to see something with the vertex. Andre?
The vertex is a 0 point.
You said that like 8
What does that mean, the
Like,
0 point?
no, like it doesn't go beneath the x-axis.
Are you trying to say it's the turning point?
Yeah, no.
Oh, it's
I
on
know
the
it's
x-axis?
Turning point, like it's on the x-axis.
Okay, that's a true statement, but
Like,
I'm
it's the
looking for more.
roots.
Look at the
The roots.
coordinates of the red one, and look at the coordinates of the blue one, for the vertex.
What?
What are the coordinates of the red one? Hey, what's the coordinates of the red one? 0, 0, the vertex. What are the coordinates of the vertex of the blue one? What was the equation of the blue one?
X minus 2 squared.
Y equals x minus 2 squared, in parentheses. Do you think that the 2 in the equation might have anything to do with the 2 in the vertex, coordinates of the vertex? Absolutely. That is not a coincidence. Okay. So now, let's go back to this. And what's the next one it asks us to graph?
Plus 2.
Y equals x plus 2 squared. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the y equals screen, and I'm gonna hit enter, and then I'm gonna do enter, x plus 2 squared. And now I'm gonna graph all three of them.
You guys.
Whoa!
Error.
Wow. That is crazy.
All right, we'll quit it.
I don't mind putting people through.
Oh, I see what I did.
Good. Why?
I hit the wrong thing there.
Wow,
Clear,
that's so cool. I think hers is right.
parenthesis,
I think parentheses. Oh,
Put parentheses around it.
he's deaf, she did. Oh, I forgot to square it.
Yeah. Good job, Leah.
Okay, so there's the original one. Here's the red one that we started with.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, look, it even comes back up. Very cool.
Yeah.
And now
It looks cool.
I'm going to put a green one up here. And this coordinate is negative 2, 0. And its equation is y equals x plus 2 squared.
Both have to
So now, as we take a look at the equations, remember the red equation, guys, we need your focus here. The red equation is y equals x squared. The vertex was 0, 0. The green equation is y equals x plus 2 squared, and the vertex is negative 2, 0. The blue equation is y equals x minus 2 squared, and the vertex is 2, 0. What do you see has something going on here between the equations and the vertex? Wyatt?
It's the opposite of the equation. So
Good.
if it was negative 2, it would be positive 2.
Very good. What we're looking at here is a phenomenon that we call horizontal shift. Okay? Horizontal shift is going to take my standard everyday parabola, and I'm going to slide it left or right. Horizontal shift occurs whenever there is parentheses. Parentheses here, and that number is inside the parentheses. Parentheses here, the number is inside the parentheses. So whenever I see a number inside of some kind of grouping symbol, be it absolute value or parentheses, it shifts the graph left and right. It's horizontal shift. All right, so that's the first thing that we wanted you to understand from today. There's also an element of vertical shift. This is not on your paper, but let's just put 3 of them on there as well. This is going to be y equals x squared. Then I'm going to go down to the next one, and I'm just going to delete, I guess it's easier to just clear it. I'm just going to put x squared minus 2, so put in x squared minus 2. X squared minus 2. And then I'm going to go down one more, and I'm going to clear it again, and I'm going to go x squared plus 2. X squared plus 2. So one equation is y equals x squared, the next is x squared minus 2, and the other is x squared plus 2. We actually have a term for, in this particular problem, y equals x squared. We call it the parent function. What do we call it?
Parent.
In other words, it's the most generic form of it. And then as we start to manipulate it, those are all derived equations, okay? So the parent function is y equals x squared. Let's graph this guy. And what do you notice? It's a little difficult to see, but here's the red one, which is the parent function, y equals x squared. The next one that we graphed was y equals x minus 2 squared, and it's the one on the bottom. It slid it down. The next one was y equals x squared plus 2, and it slid it up. So, in general, this is what we call vertex form. Y equals x minus h in parentheses squared plus k. Now the h stands for horizontal shift. And do you remember how when you find the zeros in a parenthesis, you reverse them? Hey, you with me on that? Remember we just did the graph before? X minus 2, x minus 4, and the zeros came out to be positive 2 and positive 4? You with me on that?
Yeah.
Okay, same idea here. It's horizontal shift, and it is reversed or opposite, however you want to look at it, okay? And then K, I'm gonna misspell this on purpose, is vertical shift. And I spelled it with a K, okay? In other words, it slides it up and down. So the H slides the graph left and right, the K slides the graph up and down. So if, let's just say for argument's sake, I had a graph that looked like this. What would the vertex of this graph be? Wyatt? 1 what?
1 negative 8.
Well, 1 positive 8. The only one that's reversed is horizontal shift. Okay, vertical shift stays the way it is. Okay? What if I did y equals x plus 3 squared minus 4? What would that be? What would the coordinates of the vertex be for that guy? I'm looking for somebody who hasn't helped yet. Maybe somebody on this side over here. Michelle, what do we get? I really didn't hear. Negative 3, comma? Negative 4, good. So that would be the vertex, negative 3, negative 4, okay? So now, let's go to, as we've used the calculator to help us understand this, and iMovie we're gonna get rid of, I hope. Okay. Now, here's the questions. Without graphing, state the vertex for each of the following quadratic equations. What is the vertex for letter A? Leanne, what would we get?
5 and 3.
5, 3, good. Next one. What is the vertex for letter B? Andre?
2.50.
Actually, the other way around. The 2.5 is not in a parenthesis. So there is no horizontal shift because there is no parenthesis. So it's 0, negative 2.5. What about the next one? Wyatt, what do we get?
Negative 4, 0.
Negative 4, 0, good. Okay. What's that? All right, so the next one says, write a quadratic equation given the vertex. Go ahead. Okay, Olivia, what would we get for the first one? Plus,
Y equals x minus 1.9 squared minus 4.
that's right. Question? Oh, no, I'm trying to get people who haven't helped me yet today. Caitlin, what would we get for the next one?
Y equals x plus 0 squared plus 100.
Good, and you would get full credit for your answer, but it's just a little easier to write x squared, because the 0 does nothing to it, okay? And what about for letter C? Molly?
Y equals x plus 2 squared plus 3.
Okay. So as you can tell from the next thing here, it's just what we wrote before, what we call vertex form. Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. The reason there's an a in front here is I could make this twice, right? I could make this 1/2. You know, that wouldn't affect, it's still a problem. And it doesn't affect the vertex at all, the number in front. Okay, so vertical shift, if it's in the parentheses, do you keep it the same or do you reverse it?
Reverse it.
And what if it's outside the parentheses? Keep it the same. Very good. Okay, so this was the first day on vertical shift. We're going to have another day on vertical shift tomorrow. This is a very commonly tested topic on the Regents exam.